All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here on the Harmless Dave channel, talking about real music and doing it in real time for a few real people out here, just like you there and just like me here. So, Third Day, I was talking about these guys the other day, a couple of albums I really love by this band. Um, you go back to like the 90s with this, and even the pictures and stuff and the marketing for this. They were playing these guys on rock stations, just like regular rock stations. Not a lot, but a little bit. Once they found out that they were into Jesus, it was clear that they couldn't really support them. Um, but then, this is like one of my all time favorite Third Day albums. This is the Offerings album. And at that point, you knew this was a band that was here to stay. And I was at Christian radio at the time, so we just beat them into the ground, and they deserved the airplay. So they've announced their 30th anniversary tour for 2026. One of the most iconic bands in Christian music history. Four-time Grammy Award winning and multi-platinum rock band Third Day. That's hard to do in this day and age, to go platinum. It's doable, if you're a pop star, but it's much more difficult if you're a rock band, which Third Day is. 30 years of Third Day in 2026. That's crazy. So they're going to hit some big arenas, and it's a once in a lifetime show. That's what it's being advertised as. For the first time in 11 years, the Hall of Fame band's original four members, Mac Powell, Mark Lee, David Carr, and Ty Anderson, will reunite on stage for an unforgettable victory lap. Now, I was actually hoping for some new material. So they didn't say they wouldn't release any new stuff, but I was hoping for some. Fans will experience an electrifying can't miss live event featuring a bucket list of crowd favorites, pulling from Third Day's impressive 31 number one singles across 14 albums. That's insane, right? Tickets going on sale on the 27th, 10 a.m., sponsored by the Awakening Foundation. So you should get your tickets soon when they go on sale. I will most likely be buying tickets because these guys are actually going to be right down the road from me in Estero, Florida, which is unusual. Typically, they won't hit my market, but they're going to be there along with Zach Williams. So that's going to be fantastic. So Mac Powell, apparently he's been getting asked this question for many years. When is Third Day going to tour again? Again, this just shows you the power of a brand name over just one guy, which would be Mac Powell. And he's done pretty well on his own as a solo artist. He actually strayed into Americana music for a little while and then came back to Christian music. His Christian music has always had Americana roots in it as well. Just a great vocalist. But this is a great band, and it's great to see them back together again. So he continues, I'm excited that we finally get the chance to play music together again on stage. So it doesn't seem like there's any acrimony here. Seems like everybody is excited. Mark Lee says Third Day has always been, first and foremost, a live band. The best way to celebrate 30 years is to get back together for a tour. I can't wait to get back out on the road with these guys and put on a big show for our fans. First show will be March 19th, 2026 in Jacksonville. And like I said, it's coming south to Florida where I am, so I'm pretty happy about that, along with Zach Williams as a special guest. So a lot of people would go see Zach Williams as a headliner these days. The concert near me is actually the second date on the tour, which would be March 20th in Estero, Florida. If you live in Florida, you've got Jacksonville, Estero, Pensacola, and Orlando. So that's pretty cool. And of course, they're going south during March, so they're trying to stay out of all the nasty weather up north. But, this is a very cool development. for classic rock fans and classic Christian music fans, because these guys are the real deal. And there aren't a lot of real rock bands in Christian music. There were back in the 80s and 90s, but that trend has gone in a different direction. There are elements of rock in pretty much everything, but a real rock band, not so much. So, again, third day, I'm going to have to put the offerings on today and just listen to it through. Such a great band and a great ambassador for Christian music. You know, there's a lot of controversy these days where certain bands are deconstructing their faith and so forth. That has not been the case with Third Day. They have always been just very gospel-centered, gospel-oriented group, and they haven't had any missteps or controversies. So for those of you who have been around Christian music for quite some time, this is a real big treat. So I'm getting tickets. I'm announcing it. I don't get tickets for a lot of things, but I am going to go see Third Day coming up in March, and I can't wait. So there you have it. Third Day is back, albeit maybe briefly. Maybe the tour will be so successful that they'll record some music and then they'll go out on tour again. We can only hope.